What is up, everybody? It's time for another reaction video. Believe it or not, I'm sure these videos will be coming fast and furious with all of the news that's coming out about the 2019 models. They're having a big conference with the dealers all around the world, but they're having that conference down there in San Diego right now. And I've got a lot of access because of Matt Laidlaw, so big shout out to Matt Laidlaw. I'll put a link to his channel right here in the video so that you can click on over there or tap on over there, if you will, and check him out because he has given basically anyone who wants to on YouTube access to the conference, the big meetings that they have. I'm sure that there's meetings that he goes to that we don't have access to, obviously, but he's given us access to see the bikes that they're able to see firsthand there at the conference. Obviously, the big news is the FXDR. It comes in a variety of colors, and I don't love the bike, especially when you look at the specs. It's really not all that different. Aside from the rake in the front, it's not all that different than the Fat Bob, and the Fat Bob is one of my favorite bikes in the new lineup. There are obviously distinct differences on the look. You've got the exhaust that looks nothing like anything that we've seen, essentially, really. I mean, it's got that shape so that they can give you just over a degree more of lean angle on the right side. It's less than a degree on the left side, and I'm talking about in comparison with the Fat Bob. I'm just not all that impressed. Listening to Matt Laidlaw talk about it, he says that he really thinks that the FXDR is the replacement for the V-Rod, which was obviously an extremely popular bike. I actually didn't know that there was that much uproar over the V-Rod not being made anymore, but obviously there are people who love that bike, and they were passionate about it, so he's thinking that this is the answer to people not having the V-Rod anymore. So that's fine and all. I'm fine with that. I'm not a big fan of the FXDR. They've got this little compartment. If you look back here, there's a little compartment that you can either put stuff in, or you can also put a passenger pad there. Obviously, if it's just a compartment space that you're going to be able to put a passenger pad on, people aren't going to be able to ride on it for very long. But again, just like the V-Rod, it wasn't really a bike that you were going to two up on it anyway. It's more performance driven, and that's really what Harley-Davidson has advertised, that this bike is all about performance. So I'm a guy who likes to ride, and I'm a guy who likes to have fun on my bike. I'm not a stunt guy, but I do like getting into the turns and leaning a little bit, and I would say I would be more excited about this bike if, when you got down to the actual technical specs, if it did offer a whole lot more than other bikes that are available in the Softail line, which is, this bike is built on the Softail frame, but it just doesn't deliver on, technically speaking wise, it doesn't deliver on lean angles. It's a fraction of an inch more ground clearance than the Fat Bob. There are things that I like about this bike. I do like the little front fairing. I do like the unique shape and the unique style of the front headlight. I don't like the exhaust. And also, there's just so much, and I know maybe it has something to do with aerodynamics, but there's so many curves and undulations on the tank and in the rear. It's not even a fender. You're getting this weird funky swing arm that goes back behind the tire with a fender that's attached. I'm sure there's going to be a way to eliminate that. But all in all, it's just, I'm just not that impressed. Really, all around, you're getting some other options for the 114 and motorcycles that didn't have it before. So there's that. There's a lot of different color schemes coming in 2019 for the models, but other than that, there's not a whole lot of changes in 2019. Obviously, that's not something that was going to be a big deal. The bike that I am most excited about, though, is the Livewire, and I know that I'm in the minority for that because it's an electric bike, and I do have a subscriber who is adamant about, no, Harley should not make an electric bike, but the electric bikes are here, and they're here to stay. Livewire aside, the FXDR is coming. I'm sure it'll be available to test ride. I remember last year after the dealer conference, The Fat Bob was available to test ride like 10 days later at dealers. So I'm guessing the dealers are going to have access to these very shortly. So I will make sure that if I don't get on this bike, the FXDR, I'll definitely get out there so that we can do a walk around. There's a ton of walk arounds already, but hey, I'm going to do it anyway because I'd like to go see it, and I'll take you guys along with me. Maybe I'll change my mind when I see the bike in person. We'll see, because I am an open-minded person. Let's put it this way. Last year when the dynos went away, didn't bother me all that much. When they changed the front headlight look on the Fat Bob and on the Fat Boy, I liked it. I thought that change was good. So let me just say one more thing about the FXDR. This was a chance, I think, for Harley to put some real technology and forward-thinking technology into their motorcycle, aside from the Livewire, because I know the Livewire is going to be really technologically savvy, but I thought that the FXDR would be a chance for them to do that, to get maybe a brighter or a color LCD panel or LED panel on their motorcycle, to give it some features that like other premium brands are doing as far as like electronics on the bike. And as far as I know, and as far as I've heard from the Harley-Davidson conference and from Matt Laidlaw, there's not a whole lot changing about the FXDR technologically wise. So we'll also see later on in 2020 when the Street Fighter comes out, they don't even have a name for the bike, which leads me to believe that maybe they're not set on releasing that bike when it's going to, or if they're saving it, and how different the actual Street Fighter will be than from what we've seen in pictures and obviously at the conference they had it there. Last thing about the FXDR that's really weird is the air intake. It looks huge. It looks huge, and it looks just cumbersome. The other thing about the air intake is that it looks like it's blocking like some of the Harley-Davidson logo on the tank. So I don't know. This is all just my thoughts. I'm just thinking out loud. There's a lot in store for the future of Harley-Davidson, and I'm excited for it. Being a Harley guy, I'm excited for it. I'm excited that even though I don't love the FXDR, it's something, they're trying something new, and they are trying to integrate some new things and some new technologies into their motorcycles, and that is exciting. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm done talking about this. I was kind of worked up when I first saw this motorcycle because, you know, they've held out on us on the FXDR. I mean, they hinted at it in their ad campaign that they started, I believe it was just a few weeks ago, and now they're showing it to everybody, and I think maybe the actual bike didn't live up to the expectation of the hype or the secretiveness around it, or the mystery. So, you know, it's hit or miss when you do things like that. I don't know a lot of times where that's a successful way to release something. So anyway, just my thoughts. Put down in the comments what you think of the FXDR. If it's something that you're excited about, if it's something you're considering getting. Also, I promise this is the last thing. The price point is at starting just over 21 grand. And I'm trying to think of the price point on the V-Rod, and I don't think that when it was brand new that it was over 20 grand. Over 20 grand for a bike like this, to me, that doesn't scream like forward thinking as far as technology or safety. I don't know. To me, that is a lot to ask. I don't hate the bike. I really don't hate it. I'm okay with it. It's just underwhelming. It's underwhelming. Let's just leave it at that. Guys, please leave it in the comments what you think about the FXDR. Leave it in the comments what you think of the direction that Harley-Davidson is going. Let me know what you think about them venturing out into other markets, into other segments of motorcycles than just their Harley cruisers. All right, that is all I've got for you. I'm going to leave it at that. Guys, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up down there, which is the like button. I'll pop up the subscribe button right here, so go ahead and click that, do it. Or you can check out some of my other videos with the links over here in this direction. Guys, if you're riding, be safe. And if you're not riding, get riding. This is that one guy, and I'm out.